I know you don't speak for the government, on behalf of the government, but just let me ask you this. Objectively, what was the intention of the government coming up with Shif? And actually, what now can the government do to actually even improve the perception of people towards the same? And what now can they do to improve even their acceptance towards the same? If at all this, the government is saying this is the right way.
I think, allow me to put a human face to this conversation, because sometimes we get lost in the rhetorics, in the terminologies, in the political conversation, but we forget that healthcare is a human rights issue.
Very true.
The bottom line is NHIF was such a disappointment over the years. NHIF was also a very limiting health insurance program, because remember, with NHIF, it was not mandatory for everybody to enlist. So give credit where it's due. The country's intention has always been to advance universal healthcare coverage. For us to be able to attain that, there are certain standards or parameters that you must put in place. So in the wisdom of the government, they thought it wise. Let us first separate the health insurance program from the authority that manages this program. Because with NHIF, there has been, misuse of resources and all those things. So to curb those weaknesses that NHIF had, so government decides to create what we call the Social Health Authority, which is like the mother of SHE, right? Because under Social Health Authority, which is like the administrative unit governing the social health insurance, which now is the insurance program. So that when you separate these two, it becomes probably easier to even achieve effective management. I think that's one of the...
Buluma, let me just ask you this, because we have had a critical issue in our country, where every government that comes in actually, then they come up with their own plans. As a country, and actually even the world, we've had Vision 2030. We're now talking about 2063.
Africa.
In Africa. And we've had all these things. And actually, during Kibaki's time, we had midterms. Actually, what was to be achieved. It therefore meant that this blueprint was to be followed even with the successors of President Kibaki. But now we realize that when every president comes, they come with their own legacy projects, what they want to do. This is what I want to do. Uhuru had his, Kibaki had his, and of course, but this is actually affecting the country, and it is costing us economically, because there are certain projects which are started, but they never end. And then